Hello, and welcome to the second day of All Together Here, a symposium for discovery and remembrance. My name is Carre Adams, and I serve as the curator and culture and arts education manager of the Carre Museum and Cultural Center. The museum was established in 1980 and will be celebrating its 40th birthday on October 24th, 2020. We are an institution committed to the collection, preservation, and exhibition of African American culture, history, and art. And we are honored to be the fiscal sponsor of this symposium. We are so happy that you have decided to join us for the second day of this gathering. If you missed all or part of the symposium on Friday, please know all sessions are being recorded and will be available on PARD's YouTube channel in a couple of weeks. We are also hosting this symposium via Zoom webinar to prevent Zoom bombing, and also remember to place your questions in the Q&A when the live panel discussion begins. Yesterday, we heard from a host of scholars, archaeologists, City of Austin officials, and community stakeholders. We heard from the team that oversaw the Oakwood Cemetery archaeological investigation from the early stages of permitting and monitoring through the exhumation process and final report. Panelists included experts in the field of archaeology and bioarchaeology. They analyzed the artifacts and discussed what skeletal remains can tell us about the people who were discovered. The report, Archaeological Monitoring and Exhumations, City of Austin Oakwood Cemetery Chapel Restoration Project, was released in May of 2020 and developed by Hicks & Company and the Forensic Anthropology Center at Texas State University. During the panel titled No Rest, No Peace, we learned about the painful historical and ongoing mistreatment of grave sites and cemeteries where communities of color have been neglected, forgotten, and desecrated. And archaeologists shared their experiences with projects of various scales, like the Dallas Freedman Cemetery Project, and reflected on the challenges, lessons learned, and best practices. The last session of the day, Understanding Our Ancestors Through Anthropology, helped us better understand the multifaceted field of anthropology and how it has the potential to provide us with valuable insights into the lives of African American ancestors. Genetic anthropologists from the University of Connecticut also discussed the study of ancient DNA analysis in important projects in Texas and Georgia. Physical anthropologists from New South Associates also spoke about how the science of physical and mortuary anthropology, coupled with geophysical techniques, search and rescue dogs, and exploratory trenching led to the discovery of more than 100 burials in Georgia. And the Avondale Burial Place Project was shared as an example of how it is possible to sensitively accommodate development and scholarly research with the concerns of the descendant community through extensive public outreach and consultation. And now, I would like to introduce today's keynote speaker, biological anthropologist and research director, Michael L. Blakey. He was born in Washington, D.C. and received his BA degree in anthropology from Howard University in 1978. He continued to study at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst and earned his master's degree in 1980. Blakey traveled to England to do research on the biology of contemporary Londoners at the University of London at Oxford. In 1985, Blakey received his PhD in anthropology from the University of Massachusetts at Amherst. Upon graduation, he began teaching at Howard University, where he was the curator of the William Montague Cobb Human Skeletal Collection, one of the largest systematic collections of documented human skeletons in the world. He has held visiting positions at a variety of institutions, including Spelman College, the Smithsonian, Columbia University, and Brown University. From 1991 to 1994, Blakey served as the director of the African Burial Ground Project in New York City, one of the most important archaeological finds in the United States during the 20th century. He co-edited a report on the work he did there, the New York African Burial Ground, Unearthing the African Presence in Colonial New York, Volume 1, Skeletal Biology of the New York African Burial Ground, which was published by Howard University Press in 2009. Following the conclusion of the African Burial Ground Project, Blakey was named a professor of American Studies in College of William and Mary. In 2003, Blakey was appointed as the director of the National Endowment for the Humanities, professor of anthropology at the College of William and Mary Institute of Historical Biology. Blakey has served on many boards of the American Anthropological Association and published more than 40 articles on the history and philosophy of science, paleopathology, historical demography, medical physiology, and racism. His work can be found in journals such as American Journal of Physical Anthropology, American Anthropologist, International Journal of Anthropology, and Critique of Anthropology. Blakey received an honorary Doctorate of Science degree in 1995 from York College of the City University of New York. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Michael L. Blakey, our keynote speaker for the second day of this symposium, all together here.